Redirect your mind to the open lane. Regroup your thoughts, let go of the strain. Refocus the vision, it's all in your name. Jef got the mic sparking up the flame. Redirect, regroup, refocus, we thrive. God in your spirit, keeping dreams alive. The vibe is deep, the truth's in the lines. It's your time, now don't let it pass by. Struggles in the rear view, we moving ahead. Wisdom and hustle ingrained in what's said. Jef bringing light to the stories unsaid. Keep the focus straight, don't just lay in your bed. Switching the gears, shifting the tone. This ain't a journey you walk alone.
Hey, what's up? It's your boy, Life Coach Jef, coming to you live, baby. And we are here on another episode of the Jef Releford Show here on Biggs Radio Chicago. From the 8-track to the latest app, y'all. We are live. How is everybody doing today? Listen, my day has started off pretty good. To the week, you know, we doing some things, we making some stuff happen as always. We are always on the move, but y'all know how it goes, man. We got to make our announcements when we first come on, and I couldn't go live today and let y'all know what we were going to have up next only because of the fact I don't have my phone with me today, so I wasn't able to go live on social media and let y'all know who's going to be on. But it's going to be a good show as always. Y'all need to be ready for it, baby, because guess what? It's coming. Okay. So listen, first I got to let y'all know where we at. Boom, baby. We had the Vibe Studios here at 2075 Rush Place here in Lake Station, Indiana. It consists of Ryan Reader, the VNO, what you know, myself, Life Coach Jef, Redirect, Regroup, Refocus, Smooch Wallace. Who is Smooch Wallace, baby? If you don't know him, please get to know him. And also Mary Selena K of Rock Truth Radio. Listen, we make up the Vibe Studios 219. We are doing a documentary for Fred Hampton Jr., okay? We are making it happen. We doing some things. So if you need your podcast or your radio show produced, y'all hit us up. We have a good state of the line, studio here that we can help people really get up off their feet when they're ready. So that's what we're here for, baby. So let's make it happen. All right. And also, got to let y'all know of these events that we have coming up with Biggs Radio. Oh, Jesus. Excuse me. Woo. Okay, your boy been feeling a little under the weather, okay? I got to let y'all know, but let me let y'all know this event we got coming up. Boom, September 26th through the 27th, baby, at Close Memorial Hall at 4602 Sunset Avenue in Indianapolis, Indiana. It is DJ Gino's 40th anniversary celebration, okay? Listen, this is going to be the bomb. So for night one on the 26th, we got Dougie Fresh, Con Function, Lakeside, Midnight Star, and Al Hudson in One Way, okay? That's just for the first night. And for the second night, it's a comedy special, okay? The Classic Comedy Jam. The Funk Fest is the first night on the 26th, and the Classic Comedy Jam is on the 27th. That consists of D. Ray Davis, Jess Hilarious, the homie Earthquake, Tony Roberts, and Amber James. Listen, we are giving away tickets to this event. If you are looking for something to do on the weekend of the 26th and the 27th, all you have to do is type in Jef Releford. No, just type in I'm a winner. Type in I'm a winner in the comments of today's show, or give us a call. Okay, give us a call at Biggs Radio, and then we will give you a chance to go ahead and win those tickets. So listen, man, we doing big things out here. We doing good things. So once again, that's on the September 26th through the 27th, DJ Gino's 40th anniversary celebration, y'all. Biggs Radio will be in the building. So y'all check us out. Y'all check us out. And also, let's not forget we have a host of lineup of shows for today as well. After the Jef Releford Show here at 5 to 6 p.m., we have Mixtape Monday with Julian St. Chris from 6 to 8 p.m. And then the Donna Lynn Big Show from 8 to 10 p.m. Listen, if you have any music, okay, or any commercials that you would like featured throughout Biggs Radio, you can give us a call at 773-462-4447. And also, if you would like to win those tickets, give us a call at 773-462-4447. Or you can go on email us at biggsradio@gmail.com. Okay? Once again, that email is biggsradio@gmail.com. All right, y'all. And also, to let y'all know this as well, the views expressed on this program are not those of Biggs Radio, its subsidiaries, affiliates, or sponsors. So, all right, y'all. we're going to get into it. Y'all know how it is. We set up here. We have our announcements that we start off with in the beginning because we have to, we got to pay bills. We got some people we servicing out here. So y'all, today is going to be a good show today because, we are talking about a subject today that has really hit home for me and really affected my family. And today I have a family member, which is my mother, who is here on the show today to really let y'all know and express to y'all what this actually is, because I don't want to give it all away. I really want y'all to listen. I want y'all to pay attention. Really want y'all to understand what's really going on here. So without further ado, I would like to introduce Miss Angela Releford.
Hello. How's everyone doing today? Good evening to you. Nice to be here.
Y'all forgive me for my coughing. I'm sorry, y'all. Life Coach Jef been feeling just a little bit under the weather. Mama giving pats on the back. That's beautiful. That's what I'm talking about. So, yes, Mom, we had talked about having you on before to discuss the Alzheimer's Association, how Alzheimer's has affected not only you but our family as well.
Yes,
and really talk about what you're doing to take a stand against this. After experiencing the recent events that happened in our family. Like I said, I don't want to tell it all. I want you to tell the story.
Okay.
And then we can elaborate from there. So y'all, without further ado, here's Miss Angela Releford. Go ahead again. Introduce yourself to the people, who you are and what it is that you do.
Hello, everyone. As Jef said, I'm his mother, Angela Releford. I am a volunteer with the Alzheimer's Association. I've been volunteering since 2019. So this is my 6th year with the Alzheimer's Association of Northwest Indiana, and I'm going into my 7th walk season. The way it started is because my mother had dementia. Her father had Alzheimer's, but she had dementia. And okay. And so there are some things that happened. And I remember when I realized that my mom was going to be transitioning, I told my dad in her room, I said, you know what? I said, I don't know what I'm going to do, but I know I have to volunteer. I have to keep it going and do some things because I saw what it did to our family. My mother and father were married for over 49 years, knew each other for over 60-some plus years. My father took excellent care of my mother. If he could have, he would have kept her in the home. But she got so, the delusions that came along with her dementia were very, very sickening, very sad. I felt so bad for her because she would see things that just weren't there. And I told my dad, I was at the time living in Ohio, and I would come back and visit, and I would see things before I even moved in 2012 to Ohio. I remember standing in the kitchen the day I was about to pull out, and my mother looked at me and she goes, Angie, I don't want to get like Daddy. And I was thinking, well, ma'am, we already there. I saw signs then in 2012. Yeah. But she wasn't diagnosed. I believe it was 2015. And my dad, he was, well, you think about it. If you're with somebody for that long, he was very protective of Mama.
Yeah, definitely.
And there was some denial because he didn't want to believe it. But I remember when I would come home and he would take her to the doctor, what I started to do was write things down that she was going through. I remember one particular time he was trying to take her to the doctor. She says, well, Jimmy, I can't go to the doctor. Who's going to watch the babies? What babies are you talking about, Sarah Relevant? What babies are you talking about? But in her mind, you remember how Mama had those dolls she had around the house?
Yeah.
She had some dolls that she had in the bedroom. She had a little stand-up porcelain dolls, and she thought those were babies. And she didn't want to leave them alone. No matter what I don't know what it is about Alzheimer's and dementia patients, what it does to their minds, but they have a connection with children. I saw with my grandfather, again, saw with my mom. But I remember I was sitting in the living room and I said, well, Mom, you can go to the doctor. And I said, I'll watch the babies. And she looked at my dad and so they're walking back and forth. She goes, Jimmy, do you think she know what she's doing? The baby's gonna be safe with her. I'm like, ma'am, please. Now keep in mind, this is the doll. So I'm holding the baby and rocking the baby. And when they pulled out of that driveway, so it's a ranch house, so it's 2 stories. I was standing at the top of the stairs. I threw that doll down the steps. So you got to be kidding me. But watching the toll that it took on her.
Yeah.
because she would go to the refrigerator, open it up, and you could tell she knew that she needed something out of there. But Mama got to the point where she couldn't even make a sandwich for herself because she did not remember how to do it. And I'd say, Mom, come on, let's sit down and eat. I'm hungry. Aren't you hungry? Trying to do a little reverse psychology.
Yeah.
And she'd say, oh, I'm good. I'm not hungry. I ate already. You gonna eat. Ma'am, no, you hadn't ate since yesterday. But then she's flashing back and she goes, well, your daddy barbecued. By that time, daddy hadn't barbecued in 5 years. But in her mind, she goes, well, your dad, Jimmy barbecued yesterday. It was good too. Ma'am, no, you haven't eaten.
Exactly.
So those are types of things that you have to deal with. But my dad was concerned about making sure he kept his wife home. He's always taking care of her. He's a family man. He's always taking good care of her. I'll be 53 in December. That's all I know is how good my father was to my mother. And he told me, he said, he didn't want to put her in a home. He said, I don't want her to think I'm throwing her away. Well, by this time, I had already researched homes because I started researching homes when I realized my grandfather was having cognitive issues. This was back in 2008.
Yeah.
But I remember I had all this information, and at that point in time, I'm a grandchild. I can't do anything. I remember telling my mom, I said, well, Mom, I have the information. And she said, she has other siblings. It's not just her. And she said, well, Angie, you've done all you can do. I said, well, I did what I was supposed to, because I remember my grandmother kept telling me, Angie, I'm not always going to be here.
Yeah.
So you have to watch out for you. You have to watch out for Boo. I didn't know what she meant by that. Come to find out, after we found out my grandfather had Alzheimer's. My grandmother died in 2005. In 2008 is when we really started to see it come out. But when my mom and dad took him to the doctor, they said, well, Mrs. Sumbry knew that Mr. Sumbry he had Alzheimer's. And this is leading up to what I need to talk to. But she didn't tell anybody.
Yeah.
And that's a problem I have in the Black community. And you know how Ada Mae Sumbry was, bless her heart. I loved my grandmother.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about it. I'm just speaking the truth. She was all, Angie, don't tell so-and-so this, don't tell that.
Yeah.
But the thing,
family was a little quiet when it came to stuff.
And it was certain things. I'm like, what is it to tell? Things like this, when you're going through a person whose their mind is changing on them, and they're not the person that you used to know, that's nothing to be quiet about. It's nothing to be ashamed of, because guess what? You're not the only one going through it. I always tell people when I, as a volunteer, we can do way more together than we could ever do apart.
That's true. Very true.
Anyone thinking that they're in it alone, you're not. The Alzheimer's Association has many tools for you. Actually, I always drive around in my car. I always have a packet of information with pamphlets, handouts. I always recommend people go to the Alzheimer's website at alz.org. Again, that's alz.org. And they have a 24/7 hotline number, 800-272-3900. 800-272-3900 is the Alzheimer's 24/7 hotline. There's always somebody at that number that you can talk to. You can call and get resources, or you can just call somebody. I remember Mom was having an episode, and I just called to have somebody to talk to. It was 3:00 in the morning. She's upstairs, and I heard her. I was in the basement.
Yeah.
She'd opened up the curtains and the blinds. I'm in the shears. 3:00 in the morning, so it's pitch black outside.
Yeah.
I walk up there, I say, Mama, it's 3:00. And then I know. Okay. You really don't, but okay. Yeah. And so I called to just have somebody to talk to, because I couldn't talk to my dad.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there are a lot of good people at that 800-272-3900 to have somebody to talk to. If you need resources, they can point you in the right direction, or you can go to the website, alz.org, and you can get some information off the website yourself. But like I said, when my mom started declining in health in 2019, I looked at my dad in her room and I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do, but I know I need to do something. So my mom passed on May 11th of 2019. the weekend of the 4th of July in 2019. I went on the website. I was sitting in a chair in the family room, went on the website, and I just signed up to be a volunteer. Didn't know what I was signing up for. I said, I know they did a walk. I said, well, maybe I can do some marketing for the walk. I figured that's what I was going to do. That's what I planned on. I went in there that Monday and met with the walk manager. She says, well, Angie, we need a walk chair. Would you like to do it? I'm like, okay. You know, it's been me my whole life. Somebody needs some.
Yeah.
I'll step up and do it.
Definitely.
That was in 2019. As I say, I'm going into my 7th walk season.
Exactly.
Still the walk chair. Like I said, nothing I ever asked to or wanted to do, but if it needs to be done, I always tell them every year. I say, well, if somebody comes on and they want to do it, they can have it. Believe me. But we have a small committee in Lake County because we have 3 walks. We have Lake County, LaPorte County, and Porter County in Northwest.
And we all talking about Indiana people.
Yes, Northwest Indiana walks. Yes, Lake County walks in Indiana. Sorry about that. And usually the Lake County walk is in September, but this year they've changed. Let me get those dates for you all. Sorry about that.
And real quick, while you're pulling up those dates, shout out to Miss Kimberly Patterson, my fellow radio mate as well. You know, she's listening and tapping in. She said, my mom was a caretaker and both her parents, they passed away from Alzheimer's a month apart. Yeah. Lord
have mercy. I'm so sorry for your loss, Kimberly, but that had to be difficult to have 2 parents go through that.
Well, she said her parents are in her 70s and they live 7 hours away.
Okay.
So she makes sure that she likes to speak to them every day and FaceTime them.
Okay, I misunderstood. I thought you said they had passed away.
Her mom was a caretaker in both of her parents.
Okay, I understood. Okay, gotcha. Yep.
But Kim said she tried to FaceTime her parents and everything every day to talk to them, just to notice any type of changes in behavior.
That's a good thing to do. One thing I recommended to someone, I ran into my French teacher last week at a restaurant when I was taking my
Mademoiselle Spiro.
Mademoiselle Spiro was in the
Mademoiselle Spiro.
I said, wait a minute, there's only one person that looks like Mademoiselle Irene Spiro.
Where was she at?
We were at the Harvest Room. I took Fat Face Baby to my grandbaby. I'm sorry, Sophia. Fat Face Baby to the Harvest Room. And sitting there eating our food, I'm like, wait a minute. I saw that long neck of that.
I'm sorry, y'all. We having a moment because
going back in time.
That was actually my mom's French teacher, and then she turned out to be my French teacher as I grew fast. So yeah, we having a little moment here. Sorry, y'all. A little family affair. But what happened?
Yeah, and then she didn't know she was sitting with her mom and one of her younger cousins, and she goes, "Oh," and I went over there and said, "Mademoiselle Spiro, is it you?" She just fell out laughing. She goes, "Your face looks so familiar," and I told her my name, and then all this came back. And so we were talking, and then she said, "Mom, get up so I can hug her." And she hugged me and everything. Went back over, maybe about 25 minutes later, she comes over to the table and she introduced herself to Sophie. And she just happened to tell me, I said, your mother looks amazing. I said, her skin is beautiful. She goes, she's 93 and she has, I think she said she has dementia or she had whichever. And then I started telling her about Mom.
Yeah.
And she asked me, do you have any tips? And because she said her mom lives with her now. And one thing I said, does your mom like music? For whatever reason, music, other things are gone in their minds. But music, if they were music lovers, they still relate to the music.
Yeah.
You remember Mama would be sitting, she could still sing some of the words.
Yeah, singing all the words to the song.
Amazing.
The whole words, yeah.
But couldn't spell her own name.
Yeah.
Couldn't remember her name. But it's something about music. And speaking of Mom's name, she would not respond to Mom a lot because she forgot that she was a mother. But I always tell people she had those mommy moments when she would look in my face and she'd be like, she always called us Bae. Bae, what's wrong? I'd be like, nothing. Don't lie to me. What's wrong? She had those, and then she would go back to who she was.
Yeah.
But see, in the Black community, we don't call our parents by their first names. It's just the way it is.
Yeah, that's true.
I could not call my mother Sarah. I don't care what was going on with her mind. So I started calling her Sister Sarah. Because she understood that Sarah, she would respond to Sarah. But when I'd say Mama, she'd be sitting there I'd be like, Mama. She'd be like, la, 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 la. I'd be like, Mama, la, 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 la. And I had to say it a few times. She said, what? Because she realized I was talking to her. But if I call her Sister Sarah, yes, that's the way she do it. So I started calling her Sister Sarah. And you have to check. And one thing, let me say this: if you are dealing with a loved one, anyone who has Alzheimer's or dementia, I know it can be frustrating, but you can't let that frustration come through.
That's very true, because they say if you let the frustration come through, they'll be able to pick up on that and they'll get frantic and not know what's
and
going
that
on
aggravates
too.
them,
It aggravates
even
them
more.
even more. Yeah.
That's not a good thing to
Yeah.
do. And like I said, I always tell people, everybody cannot be a parent. Everybody doesn't need to be a caregiver. And you need to recognize that it's okay, but you don't need, if you can't handle it. And I know it's a lot of people that can't handle it. Leave
I know
it.
I could.
Yeah.
I'm not the one.
Now, see, it didn't bother me. It just didn't bother me. But if you are somebody, you're not helping this situation. You have to, and I always tell people, meet the person where they are.
Yeah.
If my mother would go back, and it's like she would flash back to the 70s and 80s when she was working in the mill with Jimmy Jones. And when Jimmy Jones would come up there and visit her facility, they'd start talking about times past. It was like it was present day to her, though. And he just rolled with it. That's what you have to do. You have to meet them where they are.
Yeah.
I didn't get frustrated. It was hurtful when I realized my mother didn't realize that she was my mother anymore. But I didn't take it personally because I knew it wasn't her fault. It's easy to get all up in your feelings and be like, well, I don't understand. She doesn't understand either. I had to put myself in her shoes and be like, what is she feeling like? Because you could tell when there were times when she knew things but didn't know how to. She couldn't put two and two didn't equal 4 to her anymore.
Okay.
2 and 2 was 92.
Yeah.
And I know it, you could see the frustration on their faces. Even on my grandfather's face, you could tell when he was trying to remember things and he just couldn't. So you have to have some patience and just, calm yourself down. Calm yourself down if you're dealing with that. Any questions for me, Jef? I keep on talking. I got more than much to talk about, of course.
I just want to know, so that way you can let the listeners kind of know a little bit the emotional part that kind of takes a toll on you with it. Because, a lot of times I talk to people, we don't like to deal with our emotions. We don't like to deal with that type of stuff. We like to be quiet. I always say we're strong all the time. But just let the listeners and viewers know, what type of emotional toll did it kind of take on you as you were going through the process? Because as you know, it was a process we all watched.
Yeah.
We were all part of in some type of way. Even at times when I knew that, even when you were gone, and like I would go up there and sit with Granny and Papa up there, you know what I mean, and talk to them and be with them. Even when I knew what was going on and everything, I was kind of over there helping grandfather a little bit more over at the house with certain things. I even sat with her several times while he went to the store. Because like we said earlier, she couldn't be alone. So what type of emotional toll did that kind of take on you as you went through the process?
It was really hard for me when I was living in Ohio and not here. I remember a particular time I was at work and I called the house and she picked up the phone. Daddy didn't pick up the phone. That was odd because at that point in time, she wasn't usually the person to pick up the phone. I said, Mama, where's Daddy? Oh, he's not here. I had to go somewhere. So I called him on the phone. I had to run to the store and then I had to go to Menards. Daddy. And see, getting him to the point of understanding that he was so used to being independent, and you can't leave in the house by yourself like that.
Yeah, I know that, and that was something.
I
remember that point. It was something hard for him to come.
And so I said, "Well, Daddy, at least call me, call Auntie Deborah, so Deborah could call her. Somebody could talk to her, because we could at least have on the phone for a few minutes, because she's gonna get." I had on the phone. She go, "Oh, okay, I'm gonna let you go." I didn't say I had to go, but it was for whatever reason, it was too much for her. But at least somebody would know she was there by herself. She just couldn't be there by herself. I was getting concerned because Mama loved to cook. She used to cook. She used to be able to cook wonderfully.
Granny could throw down.
Okay, she could. Down. That's where I get it from, because I can throw down too. So I cooked a good meal today. Okay, I digress.
Again, having a moment.
But that was difficult to watch him go through that, because I know how much he loved my mother. I know how much he it was used to. It was, if you saw Sarah, you saw Jimmy. If you saw Jimmy, you saw Sarah.
Exactly.
That's what it
Exactly.
was.
Mhm.
You know, you're talking about over 49 years, almost 50 years of marriage,
Yeah.
and they've known each other for over 60 years.
Mhm.
So that was his world, and
Yeah.
his thing was to protect her. Like my grandmother grew, you know, they came up in a time where they were very protective as well. Um, my grandmother didn't work outside of the home. So her job was to take care, you know, she took care of the kids, she took care of the home, and my grandfather worked in the mill, and she was always very protective of him.
Mhm.
And that was her in her dying, you know, her dying days. That's what she did. She upheld him, and she didn't want people to know that he was sick.
Mhm.
The thing is, I understand where that comes from, the amount of love that it takes to do that, but you're honestly doing a disservice to your loved one.
Yeah.
Because you're putting off, if you let them, maybe they could have gotten some additional help that could
Mhm.
have helped them feel a little better. It could have eased some of those side effects. Um, but because you kept your mouth closed, because you don't want anybody to know about your secrets. Everything's so secret.
Yeah.
Don't tell this, don't tell that. I understand certain things you
Mhm.
should keep at home. Certain people nowadays need to keep their mouth shut. Sometimes folks tell a little too much. That was just a little public service announcement from Angela Releford. Take with it and do with it as you will. Back to the Alzheimer's talk. But when you start talking about somebody being ill,
Mhm.
and I think of it from a point of, it's not just wasn't my grandfather.
Mhm.
And what we know about Alzheimer's and dementia can be hereditary.
Mhm.
You know,
Very true.
you know. So of course that's something I think about too. So you're not telling people, you
Yeah.
holding back information. That's information not only affects you and my grandfather, but it affects the family as a whole.
Exactly. All
And
of us as
that's
a
the
whole.
thing you have to think about. But I think my grandmother, she was just focused on her husband. And I get it. But I was just shocked that she didn't tell any one of her children.
Mhm.
You know, with 7 kids, she told nobody.
She didn't even tell you.
No. And you know, I was very close to my grandmother.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very, very close to my grandmother. The day before, I went to my grandmother died December 8th, 2005. And I remember I went out of town to New York because I had a free plane ticket. I didn't want to lose it. So I decided to go to New York for a few days. I was sitting with her. I left on a Thursday. And I was sitting with her Wednesday night, and we were watching the not Macy's, you know, when they light the tree up.
Uh-huh.
And on NBC when they light the tree up in New York. And I told her, I was like, grandmother, when I go, I'm gonna take pictures because she loves Christmas. So I'm gonna take pictures of this. And I took all kinds of pictures. And I said, I'm gonna do this and bring them back. She said, I ain't worried about Christmas. I'm not gonna be here for Christmas. Wait a minute now. You know,
This was the thing we heard all the time. Like,
but this was Ada Mae. This was what she did.
That's what she did.
You
She
know.
would say that all the time. And, yeah. You know, I don't know if you just chop it up to just people being, oh, I don't know. But that's what she was saying.
She was always saying that. So I went, but she kept saying it. So I'm in New York, right? So I'm thinking, and I called home. It was a big old snowstorm during that time. In Chicago, a plane went off the what's the thing?
Runway.
Called? There you go. At Midway. And I remember watching that in New York, and then the storm was moving this way. And she had a doctor's appointment.
Mm-hmm.
Early that day. So I called, my mom went with her. I called that day, and I said, grandfather, they back yet? He said, no, they're not back yet because mama took her. And let me say that a lot of times my grandfather would take grandmother to the doctor and everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of times I went back and I looked at it. She said, Angie, can you take me here?
Yeah, she was asking
Can you take us to the, I said, what grandfather gonna be? She said, oh, he gonna be there. I couldn't understand why she always wanted me to take her, because she didn't trust him driving.
Yeah.
But just would say, Angie, I don't think he needs to be driving. Never once said that to me.
Yeah.
And she knew I was going to say, yeah, of course I'm going to take you. I didn't understand it. I go over there, leave my car, get in the minivan.
And see, what's very interesting about this part of the story that you mentioned is the fact that, you know, when Alzheimer's comes, nobody really wants it to come.
Exactly.
You know, nobody wants it to come. You might see some signs, you might see some things happening, but nobody really wants to say, okay, this could be that. But just in case, come pick me up somewhere. Come take me somewhere. You know, where grandfather? Oh, he gonna be there too. But just come on, just tote us around real quick. You know, and you don't think nothing of it because that's your family.
Yeah.
So you're not really asking too many questions. You're just trying to help. But like you said, in her mind, she already knew because the doctors already told her and everything.
Yeah.
So she kind of had some time to prep for everything. You know,
she sure did. Yeah. It's I lost my train of thought now. What was I saying? I was going somewhere. What was I going?
I think you was gonna talk about when you came home and then you realized that Granny had passed.
Yeah,
I think that's what you was making.
Yeah, great granny.
Yeah.
Because what happened was I get home. I came home that Sunday, and it's funny because during the snowstorm, you guys were off. Y'all took off. They took you off.
Yeah, we was off too.
What happened was it wasn't because of the snow. Daddy, my father didn't go to work. I called Mama because I didn't talk to Mama. I said, Mama, what you doing? Oh, Daddy took off. Your daddy took off today. Nobody told me she had died that night. My grandmother was stubborn. She said she didn't want to go back to the hospital. They was talking about she needed heart surgery. She didn't want to have it. She kept saying, I ain't going back to the hospital. I'm not going to do it. Right. And so nobody told me she had passed. So she passed that night when that snowstorm was going on.
Yeah, when that snowstorm was going on. I remember.
I mean, the ambulance couldn't go fast. She knew. I believe in my spirit that my grandmother was talking to God like, listen, I won't go back to the hospital. Just make it so that do what you gotta do. And so by the time they got to her, she had passed at home. They took her and everything. So I come back Sunday, and let's talk about and I'm saying all this because I'm talking about the secrecy.
Yeah, the secrecy.
And then,
this is secrecy.
So I'm on the phone. I'm like, and I was on the bus coming back. And I was talking to Mama. I said, and I heard my auntie Ruthie in the background. I said, what daddy doing there? Oh, she had to come back. Mother wanted. I said, oh, okay. Blah 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 blah. I get back. I go home, and it's like, where are you? I said, I went back to the apartment. I'm like, I had to do a few things, and I came on, and so I get to the garage, and I walk, and it was somebody from church. I don't remember who it was, but somebody was leaving as I was coming in. And so I'm and Mom and Daddy in the kitchen, grandfather in the kitchen. And I think y'all were in the basement with Deborah.
Yeah, because we heard you come in.
Yeah, okay. So we get to it. I'm like, okay, I talk, say my little pleasantries, and I'm like, where's grandmother at? Dead silence. Could have heard a pin drop.
Yeah.
I'm looking around. I'm like, okay. So I look at my mom. I said, Mama, where's grandmother at? And then I thought maybe because of the secrecy, they didn't want to say something. I said, I think she was asleep. Maybe they told this person who from the church she was asleep because of this secrecy. We don't talk about stuff.
Exactly.
So, and that's why I'm telling the story.
Yeah.
And so forwarding on, and she looked at me, and the person that left, she goes, Mother gone. I said, where's she gone?
Exactly. Where'd she go to?
Where's she gone? What you talking about, lady? She said, Angie, mother died. I said, that's not true. And I looked at my father. And this is what I said to my father. I said, Daddy, you wouldn't lie to me. Because I always tell, it's 3 men in my life that never lied to me. And if they did, I didn't know it. It's my daddy and my 2 grandfathers. He looked at me. He said, Angie, she gone. Now, I don't remember this, but Auntie Deborah said y'all was in the basement. She said y'all heard. She said I let out a yell that didn't make no sense.
Yeah, you did.
She said she had to cover her ears, and they were in the basement. Because I was very close to my grandmother. And it was hard to hear that.
And just to ask this question, so they know, she had never had any signs of dementia, anything, right?
Who we talking about?
Talking about
grandma?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Okay.
Oh no,
so
she was
had
fine.
no signs. She was fine.
No, she was fine. She was fine. Yeah, she was fine. So yeah, but think about all that. I said it again because of the secrecy.
Yeah.
I'm thinking I didn't want to believe she was gone because I'm like, no, they just saying that because that person's here and they don't want to talk. She just didn't want to be bothered with no company.
And sometimes people say things because they want you to have your time and enjoy and everything. They don't want you to have anything on your heart, on your brain, or anything like that. And see, that's why y'all, when we talking about and having this conversation about Alzheimer's family and just making sure you keeping up with your people, you're asking about your older folk, go y'all listen. I'm gonna say this. Go sit with your people.
Yep.
Go talk to them, call them, whatever you got to do. Because at the end of the day, Alzheimer's is something that can kind of sneak up on you. And when it comes, you don't know it until it's there. You truly don't know until it's there. And it's one of those things, just always be abreast of your people, like I'm saying. Call, text, do whatever. It's a lot of older people. They help with this, as my mother says, newfangled technology.
That's it.
So they on board with the technology. So, just go ahead, try to do whatever you can to reach it, because we have a responsibility to also to uphold them as well, because they've been there for us. Now it's time for us to be there for them.
Come on. And I believe in that. I always spend a lot of time with my grandparents.
Yeah.
I've always had an old soul. I always like this being around older people. I always did. So it doesn't bother me to be around my grandparents, parents. I still like being around older people. Most of my friends are older than me, and that's just the way I like it. I don't have a problem with that at all. But I don't understand people who have family and they don't want to spend time with their family. I understand I understand extenuating circumstances.
Yeah,
you got something
happen
like that. But if you got family members and you don't spend time with them, and then when they die, you want to lay out in front. Okay, another public service announcement from Angela Releford. When someone dies, don't go to the cemetery talking about take me, acting like you're going to fall over in the coffin, on top of the coffin, in the grave. Because if I'm there, I'm the next time somebody does that and I'm going to push them in. I'm telling you now.
See, that's why we read the disclaimer. This is why we say the views expressed on this program are not those of Biggs Radio, its subsidiaries, affiliates, or sponsors.
Yeah. Well, that's why I said it's a public service announcement from me, Angela Yvonne.
This is true. You let the people know.
I did say that.
You did let the people know.
Yeah, because you acting a fool. But when this person was alive, you didn't have time for them. But when they're dead, you want to clown and then you want to show out. People go up to the funerals and all of a sudden, the Lord told me I got to talk. I got to sing this song. The Lord didn't tell you that. The family already said 3 minutes.
3 minutes.
And you're not 10. You're not the one
trying to give 10.
No, you need to stop the foolishness. Sorry, I had a little sidetrack, but it needed to be said.
It's okay, because these things do happen. Shout out to Charles Releford. How you doing, brother Releford? Good afternoon to you, sir. Good afternoon. Got a couple more shout outs too. Shout out to once again Kimberly Patterson, Charles Releford, and Gregory Cash. Shout out to you, Mr. Gregory Cash, because honestly, brother, we still have to get together. I still have to be on the Kingpin and Crux show. For real. I do. I have to get there. But real quick, I have an announcement to make. Big shout out to Jules XQ Cigar Lounge at 4469 Broadway in Gary, Indiana, where the sophisticated go to play. Okay? Shouts out to them. Please. They have a nice cigar selection, good food. It is just a vibe there. So please, if y'all can, get out there to Jewel XQ Cigar Lounge at 4469 Broadway in Gary, Indiana. Again, where the sophisticated go to play.
They go to play.
Okay. All right. I just have to let that be known to the people. Let that be known to the people. But yes, y'all tuning into the Jef Releford Show right now. I have Miss Angela Releford on the show with me. She's here talking about Alzheimer's, talking about her and the association. And I really want to get to this walk. I really want to get to this because the walk is a great thing. I've participated in 2 walks already. There have been a few walks that I couldn't participate in because because of work and everything.
Yeah.
But this is a great thing. This is a great thing. Hold on. What did Charles say? He said, I'm with you when you're right, because people they do that and they don't even see their parents. That's true. They do that, man.
Thank you, Charles. We appreciate
Charles
your support.
Thank you, Charles.
Appreciate your support.
And yes, we really want to get on this topic of this walk because the walk is a big thing. And when the walk goes down, y'all usually have it at Wicker Park or different places throughout Northwest Indiana.
Yes. Now the Lake County walk is usually now again we're talking about Indiana, Lake County, Indiana, usually in September, but it's different this year. And we're back at the Lake County Fairgrounds for Lake County.
Okay.
But let me just give you a little lowdown. Porter County is going to be on September 21st, 2025. LaPorte County is going to be on October 4th, which is my mother's birthday. And then Lake County is again at the Lake County Fairgrounds on October 5th. And the Lake County Walk to End Alzheimer's, we highlight it's just for individuals who come together. You can remember loved ones who have Alzheimer's or dementia, those who we've lost. People have teams. Some people, we have individual walkers. My team I formed for my mom is the Releford Rebels, and we've been walking since 2019. And somebody asked me, where the Releford Rebels come from? Because my mama was kind of a rebel. She was quiet, but she was a rebel, and that's where it came from. In 2019, I said, well, I told my daddy, I said, I'm gonna name us the Releford Rebels, and that's the name of our team. And again, the Lake County Walk is the one I participate in, October 5th, and that's a Sunday. I believe we'll be starting at 1:00, or I can't think right now. I'm sorry.
Okay.
And I should have had that together. But if you want to participate in any of the other walks, September 21st is Porter County. LaPorte County is October 4th on Saturday, and that's Sunday in the Lake County Fairgrounds, October 4th for the Lake County Walk. We have a small group of volunteers. We're always looking for volunteers.
Let them know.
Seriously. People on walk day, people are so excited. Oh, I want to help. What can I do to help? We don't hear from y'all. We don't hear from you. We have the same core group of people. We do. I always tell people we are a small but mighty number. We do what needs to get done. We do what needs to get done. We have a new walk manager this year. His name is Andrew Prentice. Looking forward to the good work that he's going to be doing. We actually have a committee meeting tomorrow at 5:30.
Okay.
So I'll be meeting with them then. But everything I always tell every new walk manager we get, I always say it always comes together because they panic. But it comes together. But like I said, you could if you have a team that you want to start up, you can start up a team, or you can just walk by yourself. If you want to join the Releford Rebels, we're always looking for a few good men or women and children. Oh, and donations.
There it is. Please shout that
donations. That is the walks are our biggest fundraiser. Those are the fundraisers that's the biggest fundraiser that's the biggest. What am I trying to say? That's where a large source of revenue for the Alzheimer's Association comes from.
Okay.
And so they have very little overhead with the Alzheimer's Association. That's why I love this. That's why I love them, because they don't do a lot of fluff that other companies do, other organizations do. But like I tell people, it doesn't matter if you get $5, $10. No amount is too big or too small. And I'm going to be putting up my donation information on my Facebook, on my socials, so on my Facebook page.
Okay.
It'll have information if you want to join Releford Rebels, or if you just want to participate in the walks, it'll have information on how you can go about joining the walks on your own. But I'm looking forward to the walks this year. Like we said, we're back at Lake County Fairgrounds. Will you have to work on that Sunday, Jeff? Do you know yet?
I should be off on Sunday. I'm off.
Okay, October 5th.
I have the option to work, but I'll take off.
Okay, so October 5th, I'm looking for you, Ron Reed. If you're watching this, my cousin Ron Reed, you've been a good supporter of us the past few years. Can I depend on you, Ron? Just asking. Call me. But I'm excited because it's going to be the day after Mom's birthday.
Okay.
That's really, it's important to me. So I really want to see if we can get more members on the team. And I always tell people, you don't have to walk. I'm going to my 7th walk. I have never walked once. I don't walk. I got bad knees, got some issues going on.
And she's coordinating the event too. She's getting everything together.
This
so
is true.
But
I've never walked. Even the ones like when I went to Porter County, I don't do the walks. No, I support. There's other ways that, like, I do other things. Last year when I went to we had to walk in Michigan City, and it was the day after the Lake County walk, I believe. And I remember sitting there. I said, all I want to do is something where I could just sit. And I was the one who I sat in the corner and I gave out the flowers. The different flowers. So there are different color flowers with the Alzheimer's Association. Purple, means that you've lost somebody to the disease. Blue is someone living with the disease. Orange and yellow. One, I can't think right now, y'all, but one of them means you're a caregiver, and one means you support. You're not directly affected by it, but you support the cause.
Yeah.
So we have those different.
Or you know somebody
exactly
who's dealt
and
with
so
Alzheimer's.
and I'm sorry, I should have been prepared, y'all. Forgive me. But if you go to that website, alz.org, you too can find out what all the colors mean. Because I had a little brain fog today.
It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. But once again, what I like about this, if y'all have never been to an Alzheimer's walk in Lake County, Indiana, just in Northwest Indiana, y'all just haven't been, please go. I'm telling y'all, it's it's food, some fun, you know. And just to let y'all know, it's not a somber moment. That's the thing. It's not a somber moment.
It's a
not
celebration.
Like
that's
everybody's
like
sad. It's a celebration. That's what it is.
Yeah,
brings people together.
When we have, it's called the Promise Garden. Is when we have the opening ceremony, and we have somebody who stands, and we have somebody holds each flower. We now have the white flower, which comes up last, and the white flower represents a world without Alzheimer's. So that's really cool. But we have somebody who tells their story. In 2019, I was that person who gave my personal story, my why, my mission statement, my why statement, why I walk. And of course, it's centered around my mom. But that moment can be a little sad. But as soon as we get done with that, we take off. And it's something to see, that sea of flowers when everybody goes, everybody goes walking. Yeah. You have teams that have matching shirts. I mean, I really love to see it. It's really nice to see so many people. And it's a shame that we're bonding over these horrific diseases. But it's nice to know that you can come together and we celebrate our loved ones. And like I say, it is a celebratory moment because I enjoy this excitement. So we'll be doing some line dancing. My buddy Regina Duncan will be there with us, sorority sisters, line dancing. That has been a hit for the past few years.
Where the fans at?
Well, I don't know about that. Well, I'm sure that's the newest one. You know,
might get it.
Yeah, I'm have to ask Regina tomorrow at our meeting if we going. Whoa, I get my boots on. Okay, no, Angie.
Boots on the ground.
Yeah, no. But so we'll see. But we'll have line dancing. We'll have some snacks for you all. And then we'll have vendors there as well, different organizations where you can go and get some information. But the most important thing is just to come out information. If you need information about the disease, if you need some contact information, like so you can contact me, you can contact Jef. I'll be happy to get you some information. If you want more information about any of the 3 walks that I mentioned, again, we've got Porter County on September 21st, 2025, LaPorte County on October 4th, 2025, and Lake County, Indiana, October 5th. That's a Sunday, 2025 at Wicker Park. Lake County Fairgrounds.
Okay.
Lake County Fairgrounds. So those are the types of things we're doing. If you want to be involved, if you want to know how to donate, if you want to volunteer for our committee, just let us know. We're always looking for a few good men, women, boys, and girls.
Awesome. And like I said, I'm just glad that you were able to be here because, again, we've talked about this before.
Yeah.
And I wasn't able to get you on the past couple times when the walk was going on. Yeah. But I just want to let y'all know out there, people, Alzheimer's is something that it does affect everybody and affects everybody in different ways. I remember when I was up there at the nursing home with my grandmother, sitting with her, talking with her and everything. You know, it was just something. Sometimes we didn't say a word. Sometimes we did talk. We laughed. We had some fun. We were up there. But I was just glad that I had those moments. You know, and I do remember when I finally got up there after she had passed away to the nursing home and whatever. And I saw my grandfather's face. I'd only seen my grandfather cry twice. Only twice. At his mama's funeral, at his daddy's funeral. That's it. That's the only time I didn't really see my grandfather really shed tears. But that day, I sat right next to him. He looked at me and he said, "Wife was gone." That man, he sobbed on my shoulders. He did. And, you know, that was something that really hit home for me because, you know, that man had been so faithful to his wife. Like you said, if you saw Sarah, you saw Jimmy. If you saw Jimmy, you saw Sarah. And Alzheimer's is really something that does affect everybody. And like I said, continue to reach out to your people, y'all. Check on your people, check on your family, because it is, you never know when they're gonna be here.
Yes, so true.
You never know when they're gonna be here. Alzheimer's, we think Alzheimer's is one of those things that, and dementia is one of those things that affects you at old age. It doesn't really affect you when you get that old. Can you tell them that real quick?
Yeah, let me, and it's sad, and as the years keep going on, I came in contact with the guy's name is Dan on Instagram. He got, I believe, diagnosed with early onset dementia when he was late 40s, maybe early 50s. And he does different marathons, different runs. And a few years ago, he was doing one of them. He was having people give names of their loved ones so that he would dedicate that mile to that person. So 24 is my favorite number. So I asked him to dedicate mile 24 of that particular marathon to my mom, and he did.
That's awesome.
And we still keep in contact. Never met him.
Wow.
But I gotta check in on him too while I'm saying that. And let me say this. I've got to say this. And again, this of course is Angela Yvonne Releford's personal opinion. I said, I remember when I was on, I think I was on 88.7 when I said it a few years ago. And the host, he looked at me, he said, all right, now you're going to have all them pastors and preachers out there, those Lincolns and the Cadillacs. I got to say it. I know that the Lake County Walk is on a Sunday. I get it because I go to church. I do. I go. Oh, speaking of Greater Grace Church in Maryville, 7727 Massachusetts Street in Maryville, Indiana. Well, my church is the Reverend Dr. Rodney C. Griffin Jr., and he earned his doctorate degree. I'm throwing it out there. But anyway, I'm letting you know. But that's my pastor, and that's my church. So I go to church, so I understand. Now, I won't be at church on that Sunday because I'll be at the walk, and I have a lot to do. But I always tell churches, especially the Black churches, it's important. We have a church that has ages from newborns all the way up to, we have a few people, I think it's one or two of them at 100 or over 100. But most churches, you have either an old church or a young church. If you got an old church, or if you have any type of elderly folks in your church, they should have this information. Stop. You're doing a disservice. I been saying for years that the Black church needs to come on with it and have this information ready for your church. Because if you personally don't know somebody with Alzheimer's or dementia, I know somebody in your church does.
That's true.
And so I tell people, if you can't join us personally at the walk, you can still register and you can walk around your church if you need to. How about that?
There you go.
You remember in 2020, we're in 2020 because of the pandemic.
Virtual walk.
We everybody walked where they were. Yeah. We walked around our neighborhood that year.
We did. I remember.
People walked around the neighborhood. Yeah. So you can do that. You can walk around your church, have your church service, and everybody come on out. You can have your t-shirts if you want to. Whatever you need to do, you can walk around your church. But it bothers me because there are so many you have so many elderly people in the church. And people, not just the elderly, but people who are connected and people who are dealing with this in your church. Whether it's not in your church, maybe it's one of your members, one of their loved ones, they're dealing with this. It's affecting people. And so this walk, that's why it's so important. And people can come together and we can just forge a bond, unfortunately, because it's a horrible disease. But you need to know that you're not alone. And so I'm talking to you, pastors and preachers. I'm talking to you. Angela Yvonne Releford is talking to you. If you're in Lake County, I'd love to see you on October 5th.
That's right. Give them the dates again.
It's a Sunday. Let's go back to September 21st.
Let's go back. Give them the dates
if you want to come to Porter County, September 21st, 2025. I think that one is on a Saturday.
Okay.
I believe so.
Okay.
But you have calendars. Check it out. Saturday, October 4th is LaPorte County. And then October 5th, my baby. The Lake County Walk to End Alzheimer's in Indiana. And we're going to be at the Lake County Fairgrounds on that Sunday. Again, I will not be attending church on that Sunday because I'll be doing many things for the walk. But if you have to go to church, register for the walk. I need your numbers. You can register for the walk, but you can walk around your church if you got to. But stop doing your people a disservice.
Mm-hmm.
I can come and talk to your people at your church about the walk or just about Alzheimer's in general. I have plenty of information I'm happy to help you out with. Stop doing a disservice to your people. Join me. Follow me
as I follow me.
Okay.
All right, y'all. Another moment.
But
But yes, this has been a good show.
I've enjoyed it. Thank you, Jeff.
I'm glad you came on today.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad that you have shared your own testimony with how Alzheimer's has directly affected you, and just a little bit of our family as well. Definitely. Because it is one of those things that once it's here, it's here.
Yeah.
And then you have to, I don't want to say deal with it.
Yeah.
I don't like to say deal with anything.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a hurdle that comes your way. And as a family, you have to just work through it.
Exactly. That's
as a
true.
family, got to work through it. Because
it's
new and it's different.
Mm-hmm.
Kim Patterson says, love it. Girl, I'm glad you love the show. And we love you too, Kim.
We sure do.
We love you
Thank
too,
you.
Kim.
Also, just one more thing. I know we're about to get out of here.
What you got?
Angela Releford. I'm single, ready to mingle. Just throwing it out there.
All right.
Y'all got a name?
Just thought
I'd throw
y'all
that
got a name.
I think I'm kind of cute. Single. My children are older. Jeffrey in his 20s,
as you can
35
see.
years old. I have one grandbaby. She just turned 8. So I do like, the men of the African American descent. Just saying that. And I'll be 53 on December 1st. I look good, don't I? Thank you. Just throwing that out there to the listening audience. If you're out there.
Kim says you're adorable.
Oh, thank you, girl.
See,
girl, you all right with me.
There it is. There it is.
We're laughing, but I'm very serious. Let God use you. That in me. See, God may be using get your daddy. They used to say, "Mommy, we get a daddy."
See, this ain't time for this. You see how she do it? She go back in the past. Maybe it's time to go. Maybe it is time to get out of here. So, all right, y'all. Listen, y'all. Thank y'all for listening to WCHI Biggs Radio Chicago. From the A track to the latest ad, baby. We are breaking new music, but you had a chance to listen to the Jef Releford Show. And we had Miss Angela Releford talk about the Alzheimer's Appreciation Walk, everything. And it's beautiful. So, again, just shout your name, who you are, information about the walk, where they can find you, how they can register, the whole nine. Let's get it.
I'm Angela Releford. You can find me on Facebook if you need to contact me, Angela Releford. And we have 3 walks in Northwest Indiana. We have Porter County on September 21st, 2025, LaPorte County, October 4th, 2025, and Lake County, Indiana Walk to End Alzheimer's is on Sunday, October 5th, 2025 at the Lake County Fairgrounds. If you need my information, you can also reach out to Jeff. He can let you know how to contact me or give me the information, and we can go from there. If you need help on how to register for the walks, if you just want to be a volunteer with the association, I'm right here to help you out. And if you need me to come talk to your church or any of your organization, I'm here for you. Help me, help you.
There it is. Help me, help you, baby. All right, it's your boy, Life Coach Jeff, coming to you live, and Miss Angela Releford. And listen, as I always say, redirect, regroup, refocus. And we love y'all so very much. And peace out. Hey, what's up? It's your boy, Jef Releford, and I thank you for joining me on the Jef Releford Show. Because listen, you could have been doing anything else today, right? But you chose on your way home from work, or if you just at home chilling, to tune in to the Jef Releford Show. Now, real quick, I want to say this to you. Go ahead, tell your friends and family to download the online radio box app to your Android or your Apple device. So that way you can go ahead and listen to us on the go. And what you do is from there, you type in Biggs Radio Chicago. Okay? Biggs Radio Chicago. And also listen to our sister stations in Indianapolis, Indiana, Pasadena, California, Atlanta, Georgia. And once again, you are kicking it with Jef Releford on the Jef Releford Show on Biggs Radio Chicago, the voice of a new generation. Let's go.